Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zones. I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's my biggest part of the day. I love being with you. Continue sending email, by the way, Donna@donnasedge.com, Donna@donnasedge.com. I love every email I get from you. You can find us on television 2 different ways. One of those ways is on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find us on Charter Channel 182, that's Charter Communications, part of Spectrum. And we love being with them too. That's up in Alabama. Another way you can find us is on the podcast, thenewscasters.com. And another way you can find us also is on WZLA radio station located in Abbeville, South Carolina, the biggest country station there is. I continually give away restaurant cards and gift certificates. So if you would like to be in part of the giveaways, you got to send an email and let me know about it. Donna@donnasedge.com, Donna@donnasedge.com. The drawing is every Friday. I give away 10 different restaurant cards. So again, if you'd like to be part of that world, let me know. Continue sending email. Now today, because guys have been sending the emails, it's summertime, Donna, we know that you are just a junkie when it comes to gardening. And yes, I am. I admit it. I love gardening. And I love what it does for your well-being. It's really good for your mental well-being as well. And you get plenty of exercise, believe me, you do. So we've been talking about various plants. I want to talk to you about rosemary. Rosemary is something I've been growing for years, for decades. And I love rosemary. Now it grows really well in the South. It grows great in the North as well. I've had really good luck with it. I mean, you can put it in a pot, you can put it in the ground, you can do whatever you want to with it. Now we'll say this. If you have like the blizzard of 93 that we had several years ago, you might want to cover it with something, okay? Because I did lose some of my rosemary back in the blizzard of 93. But other than that, I've carried it with us wherever we've lived. And I absolutely love rosemary. So let's talk a little bit about the medicinal qualities. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you what I'm doing right here. You can make oils out of it. You can make infused oils. You can also make tinctures with it, which is what I do. And I want to tell you a little bit later, in just a few minutes, why I make tinctures with this. Now, this has been going on. Let me turn the jar around so I can see the date. Let's see. Oh, I started this one in October of last year, October the 29th, 2025. Now, we'll say this, your tinctures are going to last for decades. I've been making vanilla tinctures for years. And so, I mean, I'm just telling you, I have some vanilla flavoring that I got from vanilla beans. You put some kind of alcohol with it. Vodka is a really good thing to use. And that stuff is just going to last forever. But now I leave the coffee beans with the stem and everything in it. And to tell you the truth, I really don't take any of the stuff out of it until I just need the jar. You know, I've just got to have it for something else. Now, what this is, and you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but the rosemary is the leaves, and those are down at the bottom. Now, you want to shake them periodically, and just kind of like that, just give it a good little shake, and that gets all that wonderful juiciness stuff in it. Now I use this for a tincture, and this is like really good brain food. Now, you've heard kids talk about going to college, they got a big test the next day, and they use all natural stuff, and they'll use essential oils or something like that. But you can use the tinctures for the same thing. Now, it only takes a dropper of it. I don't use a full dropper. It's and I use it throughout the day, like about 3 times a day. And in the morning when I wake up, I do just about this much. See the beautiful color of that? So I use just about that much. It's about 1/3 of a dropper. And then after my lunch, if I'm not on the go and I can spend a minute to do it, I like to use some, with my food. And then another thing is before we go to bed at night, we do the same thing. It's such a relaxer, and it's also an energizer. You're going to really love the rosemary. It's like one of my favorite plants. It's hard for me to tell you which ones I like. Like if God himself came down and just said, Donna, you can only have two. Oh, boy, that would be tough because I simply like every single thing I grow. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Rosemary is a powerful medicinal herb, and it's long been used in traditional medicine for the brain, digestion, and circulation. Without rosemary, I probably couldn't host a show. I mean, I wouldn't know I was on planet Earth by the end of the first show. So this is really good for me right here. I want to talk about the key medicinal qualities of the rosemary. Rosemary is a memory and brain support. Now, rosemary is famous for its cognitive benefits, which is why Phil and I take it. And they go on to say, by the way, this is a book I'm writing. It's probably going to be a year before I'm finished with this thing. But anyway, I'm just reading you some of the things that I've written down. Rosemary is famous for cognitive benefits. It may improve the memory, focus, and mental clarity. Okay, it contains compounds in its rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid. It's traditionally linked to enhanced recall and alertness, which is something we all need. It's crazy food that we've eaten the past few decades, and it hasn't been good for us. And that's probably why my Aunt Elizabeth, who's like 105, has a better memory than most teenagers do, because she has always eaten naturally. And she loves rosemary too, by the way. Now, I want to mention this. This is also a circulation booster. So rosemary stimulates the blood flow, and it also can help with cold hands and feet. Oh, yeah. Are you like me? I'm that way. Okay, when I go to church, I have to like bundle up. I mean, I wear like all year long. You see me in church, I'm like this. Some old ladies, you know, that are always freezing to death. My feet are going to freeze to death. And you'll see me, I'm still wearing pantyhose. Okay, I know it's popular not to, but I'm just telling you, if I go to church and I've got a dress on, I have to, because it is so cold to me. I'm old, aren't I? I'm getting older. Okay, so it can also help circulatory. It can also help with cold hands and feet. Also supports the cardiovascular health. This has a mild effect on that. Now, this also works as a digestive aid. Now, you've heard me talk about a lot of the medicinal plants help with this. This does too. It relieves bloating, gas, and indigestion. It stimulates the bile production, often used after heavy meals. You know, you go out to eat, you go to that all you can eat buffet, carry some rosemary with you, or at least carry some of the rosemary plant and chew on it after you've eaten. You'll be thanking me later. Okay. All right. Now, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. We all like that word antioxidant, right? It helps to reduce inflammation. It also protects cells from oxidative stress, and it may support long-term health and aging. Okay, now antimicrobial properties, so that it's active against certain bacteria and fungi. It's also useful in natural cleaning and skin preparations, so you can use your tincture for that. And what you can do is just totally cleanse your face, get a cotton ball, get some of the tincture, put some, just a little bit on the cotton ball, and rub it over your face. And what it'll do is take away that residue from your makeup and the soap. You know, soap leaves a residue too. You know, a lot of people think, oh, it's just soap, it'll wash right off. A lot of it doesn't, and it depends on your skin type. Mine is oily, so it pretty much well goes away. But if you have really dry skin, your dry skin is going to hold on to that soap. That's why it's marketed this way, but you know, it's kind of weird. But so for soap, you'll see something that'll say for dry skin only. What that generally means is it has very little oil. I mean, it has a lot more oil in it, I'm sorry. And you're going to notice that it doesn't suds up it as well. It's because they use more oil in it. I know some of my customers want it to be like really lathery. And I'll say, well, I'm not going to put as much vitamin E in it if you want it to be really lathery. So anyway, that's just a little tip, free charge right there for you. Okay, so we talked about the antimicrobial properties. Let's talk about hair and scalp health. Widely used in hair care, may promote hair growth. Maybe why I've done all of this. I promise you, I could cut my hair, and within 2 months, it'd be just almost the same way here. Part of it is the water I use. We have a water filter that is like Metz. You need to call Metz Waterworks. I'll give you their telephone number, and you'll probably, there they are right there. It just so happened. They're up on the screen right there. So you need to call Mark Metz. Okay. All right. And anywhere you live in the world, he can service you. Okay. Widely used in hair care, promotes hair growth, helps reduce dandruff, and also improves scalp circulation. And a little bit later on, I'm going to show you how you can do all this stuff. Okay. Oh, this is a biggie. Okay. Now, guys, before you start, you guys get moody just like we do. Okay. It's not just women. So mood and stress support. It has an uplifting aroma that may reduce stress and fatigue. It's used in aromatherapy for mental clarity and for energy. Common ways to use rosemary is a tea. What you can do is steep 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary in hot water 5 to 10 minutes, and it makes a really good tea. Good for digestive and focus. Now, let me tell you something else you can do, and I mentioned this on a couple other shows, and this is about making a tea. Okay, you can get the leaves, and I like to cut mine up just a little bit. It just lets some of those oils out better, I think. Maybe it's just my imagination, but it just seems to. And it kind of gives a little bit stronger taste, so you know that's what it's doing. So I'm going to clean them really good, and then I'm going to chop them up really good with my knife and on my cutting board. I'm going to boil some water, and then I'm going to put those really neat leaves, and it's going to smell heavenly. You're going to love the smell of it. And put it in your cup, and then you pour your boiling water into that cup, and you can let it seep for several hours. One thing you can do is put it in a jar and let it seep. In the morning when you wake up, first of all, you open up that lid, and it's going to smell so good. It's going to wake you up naturally, wake you up. And another thing you can do, you need to drain out the leaves because they'll be kind of yucky looking. So, they'll instead of being really vibrant, pretty green, they'll be kind of a brownish looking tan color. It's not really brown, but tan color. And so you'll drain that out. You can use cheesecloth. You can use a coffee filter to do that. So there's all kinds of ways, just as long as you strain out those leaves. If you've got enough patience, just get a spoon and spoon it out. It will take a while to do that. Now, another thing you can do to make it taste even better, if you can find a local honey farmer, okay, somebody who handles honeybees like we do. But find somebody local. It's really important wherever you live, and get some of their honey and put about a half a teaspoon into that cup of tea, and it's going to taste really good. I like the taste of it without the honey in it. Tastes pretty good to me. Okay, now that's the tea. Now let's talk about the infused oil. So what time it is? Oh my goodness, I've got to go on a commercial break. When I get back from the commercial break, and our sponsors, depend on me doing that.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
Good afternoon, sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles, and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas. Are you looking for skincare that feels as good as it smells? Discover Autumn Naturals, located inside the Anderson Mall, your go-to for locally made organic hair and body products. From handcrafted soaps to nourishing body oils, every item is made with care using ingredients your skin will truly love. No harsh chemicals, just simple, natural goodness you can trust. Stop by Autumn Naturals today and experience the difference for yourself. Autumn Naturals, natural beauty made local. Good afternoon. We're back. We're talking about rosemary today. It's a wonderful herb. It's one I've got to make sure I've got rosemary. It's good for clarity. It's good for skincare. It's good for everything. Whatever ails you, you're going to love your rosemary. When you buy now I did seed, okay, and it's seed that I know came from a very reliable source. And I don't want anything that's got any additives to it. I want it to be 100% natural. I seeded some when we moved back out. The folks who bought our farm that we had in Alabama, man, are they blessed with some great herbs. Got all kinds of great stuff out there. So what I did is I took a cutting from it, but it came from some seeds that I did years and years ago. I got a cutting, and I actually got several cuttings, and I tore off part of the bottom of it. It's kind of like a little spiral, almost looks like a pine tree. I don't know if it's from the pine tree family. We'll find that out in just a minute. But anyway, I just cut off just a little bit of it. Now you need to get not something that's huge woody, but you don't want to get one that has no wood to it. Okay, so you got to have that wood to use that to making sure that you got some good roots. And so I did that. I put a little bit of root compound in it, and I just stuck it in water for a few days, for about 2 weeks. And then after that, I put a little bit more rooting compound on it, and I just put it in dirt. And I've got rosemary. And again, you can take it and propagate it, and you can, give it to your friends. I'm going to tell you what, your friends are going to appreciate you if you give this like it's Christmas or Mother's Day or birthday gifts. And it's the gift that just keeps giving. It's just going to keep growing. And the more you cut it, by the way, the more it grows. And all of these plants are like that. You cut them, they're just going to come right back in even more full force and even better. So they're going to be better. So don't be stingy with it. I mean, cut it, give it away, give it to friends, whatever. It's also good air freshener. And I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Now we talked about, before we went into a break, about the tea and the infused oil. And then you can also use it for steam inhalation. Yeah. See, I have issues with my lungs. I have asthma. And so there are two things I won't do without, and that's ginger root, which is like huge in my book, and also the rosemary. So you can use it, again, for steam ventilation. It helps with congestion and mental clarity. Culinary use. I use it in everything. Roasting chicken. It's a great chicken source. Roast beefs, love it. And I use the Instant Pot now, but you can use it in like a crock pot. Just cook it on the stove or put it in the oven, whatever you do. Put just, it doesn't take much now because it's a strong plant. So you might want to put just a couple of maybe about 3 or 4 inches of cuttings in that. Wash it really good. Put it in the oven or whatever you're going to cook your roast in or your chicken in, and it's phenomenal. It tastes really, really good. I like to chop it up like the young flowers. Now, don't get the old woody stuff. That's not going to taste good. But the younger parts of it, cut that up and put it in little pieces. It's really good in spaghetti too. I love it in spaghetti. It's got a great taste to it. Okay, again, that's culinary use. Now, let's talk safety, okay? So, safety notes, it's safe in normal culinary and tea amounts. You want to avoid large medicinal doses if you're pregnant or if you have seizure disorders. Essential oils should not be taken internally without professional guidance. Be really, really careful with the essential oil, okay? Here's a fun fact. In ancient Greece and Rome, rosemary was associated with memory. So students should wear it during exams to improve or recall an answer. Okay, so that's a great thing. So these are some great, great recipes I'm going to give you too. I'm not going to let you go without giving you some recipes. Now, my book is going to be coming out in just about a year. When the book comes out, I'll let you know, okay? It's going to be like several volumes. So I'm doing a book now on herbs. I've done some on planting in the garden. I've just, rooting flowers and plants and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to do the herb one first. I kind of go from one to the other. I need to get one and just complete it. But I'll think, no, I got an idea. I've got something for whatever with the herbs. And then I'll keep adding to it. But I'll let you know when it comes out. Or you can just keep watching the show over and over again. You can do that as well. Okay, rosemary tea. This is good for focus and digestion. Okay, here are the ingredients. You want 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary or 1 small fresh sprig. Again, it's kind of like maybe a cedar tree and a pine tree kind of ish. You know what I mean? That's how I'm trying to describe it for you. But it's thin. It comes in a little thin leaf. And then a cup of water. Pour the hot water over the rosemary, cover and steep it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Strain it and drink it. You can add honey or you can add lemon to it to balance because it's a strong flavor now. And it's not for everybody. I didn't like it at first and it just kind of grew on me. Now it's kind of like I have to have it all the time. Okay, rosemary hair growth oil. Tell you how to use that. Here are the ingredients first. You want 1 cup of carrier oil. That can be olive, coconut, or jojoba oil. You can also use 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried rosemary. I do it like in big jars because I use a lot of it. And so now this is not oil. This is the tincture right here. But now this is what I do. You don't have to do it my way. I like to put as many leaves as I possibly can in there. And now when you put the leaves in, you put the olive oil or whatever oil you're going to be using, you need to make sure that there's enough olive oil where it covers those top leaves. Okay. So you got to make sure you do that for it to turn out right. But I put as much of that as I possibly can. When you buy stuff from me, I'm telling you, it's full dosage. So I've got so much of it for one thing. Another thing, I just want a good quality product and I want something you're going to be proud of. Now, for the hair growth oil, you want to put it in a jar. You want to infuse it for 2 to 3 weeks, or you can heat it gently 1 or 2 hours, and then you can strain it. I like it. I've done it both ways. Both ways work. I just like it better putting it in the long term and just letting it set for a few weeks. Now, mine, I've got some that's been sitting for 6 months, and boy, is that stuff stiff. I mean, it really is. With that oil, it is awesome. And I'm going to tell you something, olive oil, and you put rosemary in it, it makes an awesome salad dressing. And I think I've put that in here too. Okay. Now, how you use this, you can massage this. This is for the scalp and the hair. Massage it into your scalp 2 to 3 times per week. You want to leave it on for about 30 minutes or overnight before washing. And this stimulates circulation. It also supports hair growth. Now, a lot of folks have said, why would I do that? My hair is going to be like really super oily. No, you'll wash it out. If you use some of the water that we have, Met's Waterworks, it's a water system. And it's a filtration system. And so it's going to clean your hair and it's going to be like feeling really, it's been 5 days since I washed my hair. and it still looks good. I mean, it still looks halfway decent. And it's because I use the filtered water, and I love the rosemary stuff. I mean, that's like super good for you. Okay. Leave on for 30 minutes or overnight before washing. Helps stimulate the circulation and also supports that hair growth. Now, rosemary hair rinse. So this is another thing. You can follow this up. Let me see what time it is. Oh, I've still got about 4 minutes. Okay. So you can use this rinse to wash your hair after you've used the oil on your hair. And by the way, it's for all skin types, even if you have oily hair. Okay, you can still use this. Okay, now the rosemary hair rinse, it puts shine and scalp to your scalp health. Okay, what you're going to need is 2 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of dried rosemary. You need to boil the water, almost you're making a tea out of it. You add the rosemary and you simmer it for 10 to 15 minutes. Then you need to cool it all the way and then strain it. So after you shampoo your hair, you want to pour this over your hair after shampooing, and you don't rinse it out. Your hair will love you. Okay, now rosemary muscle relief oil. You want 1 cup of the carrier oil and 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried rosemary. You want to infuse the oil, like we said just a few minutes ago, and store it in a glass bottle. Again, I like the amber color. You can use just a regular jar, but it just seems to keep it better. If you can't find amber, those really pretty blue ones are really nice too. Okay, so you'll infuse the oil, store it in a glass bottle. The way you use this is you'll massage it into sore muscles or joints. This is great after a workout, after you've exercised, or for stiffness. Okay, now rosemary steam. This is congestion, clarity, the terribleness of the summer. The only thing I hate about spring, the only thing, is I can't breathe sometimes. When the asthma is kind of like I can get asthma attack. But it's all the stuff that's out there. It's all in the air. But now the bees love it, so thank God for letting us have it. But it's really, really good stuff. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm going to have another show about that. Well, we'll talk about that later. Rosemary steam. You need a handful of fresh rosemary or 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried rosemary. And you need a bowl of hot water. What you'll do is add the rosemary to the hot water, lean over the bowl with a towel over your head. You need to breathe this steam in for 5 to 10 minutes. I like to just use the whatever I'm boiling the water in, the pan, and then put the rosemary in it, and then just put my head just over that, not in it, but over it, you know, just enough so you can breathe it. Again, put the towel over your head, and you're going to be breathing freer. I promise you that. Okay, rosemary infused honey. This is like a cough and immunity kind of a thing. You're going to need some fresh rosemary sprigs and raw honey. Find you a local honey beekeeper, okay? Now you'll lightly bruise the rosemary, but now I bruise the rosemary anyway. It opens up those oil cells and it just puts more out there. Okay, so lightly bruise the rosemary, submerge it in the honey, let it sit for 1 to 2 weeks, and then you'll strain it. That's optional, but what you can do is use it as a spoon by the spoonful to put in your tea if you'd like to do that. You can also use it in salad dressing. It tastes really good that way. Okay, use dried rosemary. There's some tips for you. Use dried rosemary for oils to avoid the mold. Fresh rosemary is fine for teas and rinses, but a little bit of rosemary goes a very long way because it's very potent, and it is, again, good for you. If you got kids who are going to college and they say, I just can't concentrate, I can't study, I've got that big exam tomorrow. If nothing else, go get the rosemary essential oil. That'll be better than nothing. But I do encourage you to grow rosemary. It's easy to grow. It can be heat tolerant. I mean, rosemary, you can't kill it unless you have the blizzard of 93. That might hurt it a little bit. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. Thank you so much for watching.